By the end of this video, you will either be offended at my observations, or you will be joining me in curiosity of the fascinating paradox of the German mind. I will give you 5 examples of German thinking or behavior that I find to be very, very interesting.
So we've all heard a bunch how famous Germany is for its efficiency. Basically, it has the most powerful economy in the EU, yet works fewer hours and has more vacation than a lot of these other countries. Very efficient. We hear tales about German efficiency in production, engineering, manufacturing, and through my years in Germany, I have seen evidence of this behavior. Germans do seem to be quite efficient in all sorts of aspects of life and with their time. However, at the same time, this country is absolutely plagued with bureaucracy that is so bloated, slow, and inefficient. You try and start a company here, get a license or approval for something, or register something with the government, you will see quickly how much bureaucracy, paperwork, and hoops to jump through there are here in Germany. A great example of this would be the organization, building, and construction of the infamous Berlin-Brandenburg Airport that seems like it will never be finished due to German bureaucracy and inefficiency. So on one hand, world famous for being so efficient. On the other hand, so bloated with bureaucracy, the paradox of the German mind. If you've ever tried to plan something with a German, you are probably well aware of how far they will look into the future to lock in plans. Hey, what are you doing on the first Tuesday of the month 3 months from now? Is not an unrealistic question when trying to plan something with a German. We Americans, on the other hand, tend to be much more short-term thinking and spontaneous when it comes to making plans. However, this German long-term thinking is not consistent throughout every aspect of life. And one great example of this would be how people think and speak about salaries. In the United States, we always talk about salaries in terms of yearly, whereas Germans, the notoriously long-term thinkers, think about their salaries in terms of monthly, a much more short-term and immediate approach. Another example of this, and I've seen this in my own behavior, is how frequently one grocery shops here in Germany. I'm actually going to the grocery store right now, and I went yesterday, so I'm actually going on back-to-back days. Very short-term living of me. Americans, we tend to go grocery shopping less often and buy things in bulk, whereas people in Germany are more apt to go grocery shopping more frequently, say a couple times a week, buying only what they need in the immediate short term. And this is exactly what has happened to me since moving to Germany. When I went to college in the States, I'd go grocery shopping about once a month, but now that I live in Germany, my habit has totally changed, my way of thinking has totally changed, and I go grocery shopping essentially every other day, buying only what I need in the immediate, in the short term. So, Germans, long-term thinking in some aspects of life, but short-term thinking in others. Now, Germans are famously obsessed with privacy. So much so to the point where on Google Maps, Street View is blurred out and you can't see anything, and it has earned Germany the nickname Blurmany. Germans are also notorious for using fake names on social media. I remember when I first came to Germany and started getting all these new German Facebook friends, everybody had these wild, made-up names as their Facebook name. Nobody wanted to use their real name online. So it's safe to say that Germans like their privacy. However, I do not believe that this principle remains constant throughout all aspects of life. It is my experience that people in Germany are much more apt to get into their neighbor's business and tell them if they're doing something wrong, or to report them to authorities. I have unfortunately had a handful of these type of experiences during my time in Germany. And actually this type of behavior sparked a debate at the beginning of the Corona pandemic for, people calling the police for seeing 3 people sit on a park bench when the rule was only 2 are allowed to be on the park bench, kind of minimal stuff like this. But I thought we loved and respected privacy. Seems not all the time. All this talk about privacy is making me tired. It's time for me to take a nap in private. Oh, data. All right. No, stop my, hey, data. Oh, gosh. Oh. Hey, whoa. Hey, what's wrong? What's going on? Hey, y'all. I'm good. Y'all, I was having a nightmare. I was using the internet without the security and protection of CyberGhost VPN. Oh, that was scary. Oh, no. So you couldn't watch content from other countries? I couldn't. I didn't have access to their 9,000 servers in 90 different countries. I couldn't switch my IP address around. I couldn't watch Paramount Plus here in Germany. My shows, Yellowstone. I only had access to one country's Netflix catalog. Oh, that's horrible. So you couldn't watch Formula One for free? No, thankfully, in real life I have CyberGhost and I can just switch my IP address to Austria and watch it for free on the ORF, but man, imagine if I didn't. Oh, and I kept trying to read this news article on an American site, and it was geo-blocked here in Germany, and I couldn't get access to it because I didn't have CyberGhost on my computer or my phone. Couldn't read the article. Don't worry, it wasn't real, okay? You're smart. In real life, you're one of the 38 million people that uses CyberGhost VPN. Okay? You have the protection of the #1 most recommended VPN on Trustpilot. You're protected by their strict no logs policy. And not only is your identity safe online, but you can switch your IP address around to potentially get cheaper flights and hotels. It's all gonna be okay. I am so glad I'm awake. I mean, I can't imagine not having CyberGhost. In fact, I can use it on every major platform. That one account can be used on up to 7 different devices. And the fact that if you use the link in the description, you will get 83% off the CyberGhost subscription, paying just over €2 a month, plus 4 months free. Not only is it a great product that I use every single day, multiple times a day, and I highly recommend to you, but you signing up with the link in the description also helps out me and helps support this YouTube channel. So check it out in the link below. Plus, there's a 45-day money-back guarantee, so it's risk-free. Check it out. All right, back to the video. If you've watched my YouTube channel for a while, you are aware of my tremendous disgust for the lack of space that people leave between each other in line at the grocery store. This is what a typical line spacing situation looks like in the United States. Okay, somebody does something, now we're gonna move forward. Look at that, reasonable spacing! Nice and spaced out, pretty reasonable. People aren't breathing down each other's necks. Now here is a typical line spacing situation in Germany. People will come right up behind you, leaving no personal space, breathing down your neck. For an American, this is an appallingly uncomfortable lack of personal space. However, this behavior does not remain consistent at all, because also, if you've shopped in Germany, you're probably aware of how quickly and aggressively people grab that customer divider stick and slap it in between your groceries and theirs. People behave as if you're trying to sneak your groceries into their pile so you'll sneakily pay for them. Listen, bro, I'm not trying to get you to pay for my groceries. You don't have to slap the thing so down aggressively and stare at me in the eyes. Jeez. So we refuse to allow personal space between human beings in the grocery store line, but we aggressively and quickly mark the personal space between our groceries. The paradox of the German mind. Now, this one is a little bit more theoretical, a little bit more my opinion, but one would think that Germany, after having to deal with not one, but 2 authoritarian, totalitarian government regimes in the 20th century, would nowadays be very opposed to large government, and that the majority of people in Germany would have strong libertarian political beliefs. However, this is not the case. From my American perspective, the government in Germany is very involved in people's lives today, and it is sort of counterintuitive to what I would think the result would be based on the recent history. However, as I look more into this, I start to think that Germany's response to these totalitarian regimes and the history with these totalitarian regimes is not to minimize government, but to have restructured and created a more honorable, more trustworthy government institution. And that seems to be actually the response from Germans. So I do understand it. However, my first instinct would be that people in Germany would have much more libertarian political beliefs.
All right, guys, that's all for today, and I want to give a shout out again to the sponsor of today's video, CyberGhost VPN, a great VPN that I use every day, multiple times a day, and I highly recommend it to you. Use the link in the description. If you use that, not only does it help you, but it helps me and this YouTube channel as well. Highly recommend it. Check it out below. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next time.